Hello, Miss. My name is Elsandi Wahyu Nugroho. I'm from class 04 SIGE 003 from semester 4. And this video is for fulfill my attendance in meeting 11 and meeting 12. And I'll start with meeting 11, speech to act. Understanding how incentives motivate behavior. Incentives are rewards they are promised when a particular action is taken or when a goal is achieved. Incentives are physical rewards such as food, shelter, and money. They can be psychological rewards such as positive self-concepts and peace of mind. And they can be social rewards such as acceptance, status, and popularity. Regardless of the type of incentives offered, when a person evaluates it, they are motivated to take action, relegate to the goal. Suppose you hear a speech aimed at motivating the recycling of aluminum cans. Speakers take advantage of the incentive to bring aluminum cans to a local recycling center and earn 1 cent per can. Will you be encouraged to hear that a can be made into a recyclable can? It depends. If you're hungry, you can carry a sack filled with cans, take a can to a recycling center, and go to the local market to eat something. In this case, the money provided for recycling was an effective incentive and motivated to take action. Suppose you are not in hungry or you are not in destitute situation. Even you have a lot of cans, a penny may not be enough to meet your daily needs. However, showing that recycling helps protect the environment can be a powerful incentive for you. As a speaker, you must show your audience that the time, energy, or money investment for behaving as you suggest is small when compared to the rewards to be gained from acting. Then, using incentive to meet needs. Abraham Maslow divided people's needs into 5 categories. First, psychological needs such as food, drink, and life support. Second, security needs, including long-term survival and stability. Third, the need for attribution and love, including the need to identify with friends, loved ones, and family. Fourth, ego satisfaction, including the need for respect, the quest for material goods, recognition, and power or influence. The fifth, the need for self-actualization. This includes the needs to grow yourself in order to reach your full potential and engage in creative activities. When preparing a speech, not only understand the needs and incentives of the audience in taking the proposed actions, but also understand how the proposed action costs the audience and how much this cost will be. Next is meeting 12, organizational pattern of speech of act. First, the problem solution pattern explains the nature of the problem and proposes the solution. The problem solution pattern can be used with any persuasive speech, but it is especially useful when the audience may not be aware of the problem or how they might personally find a solution. An actionable speech organized with this outline typically has 3 main points. The first section looks at the problem. The second presents the solutions, and the third suggests action the listener can take. To convince your audience that there is a problem, you'll need to explore the breadth and depth of the problem, as well as provide relevant links to your audience. Next is the problem cause solution. The problem cause solution is similar to problem-solving patterns, except that they add points to discuss the cause of the problem and propose solution aimed at mitigating those causes. This pattern is especially useful when addressing seemingly unmanageable problems that have historically failed to be treated by treating the symptoms rather than the root cause. In the activity speech, the root cause resolution point is followed by a fourth point that calls on the listener to take a specific action. Alan Monroe clearly portrayed motivated sequence as a clear linguistic patterns in the 1930s. In the motivated sequence, the usual introduction, body, and conclusions are summarized in a 5-step sequence. Describes as follows. First, attention step. Like the introduction, it shall start with a statement that can get the attention. Stunning remarks, rhetorical question, quotation, or short narration all serve this purpose. Next, you need to stimulate the curiosity of your audience by talking about the value of what you are trying to say. Second is the need step. In the need step, you need to investigate the nature of the problem that is causing the need of change. In it, you point out dissatisfaction with statistics, examples, and expert opinion to support your argument. Third is the satisfaction step. After developing a rational argument that changes our need, we will explain the solution to the problem in the satisfaction step. This step points by point how the proposal meets each of the needs identified in the previous step. Fourth is the visualization step. The visualization step asks the audience to imagine what would happen if the proposal was implemented and succeed. And the last is the action appeal step. This final step gives you a quick look at your key ideas, but then highlights certain beliefs and actions you are directing to your audience. It also shows and repeats your own involvement and the action you have taken. It also provides a direct subpoena showing that you want the listeners to do and how. Finally, you need to end with an emotionally compelling quote, story, or other element. All compelling speeches can be used to change the attitude and behavior, including a demonstration of speaking credibility, using an emotional appeal, regardless of organizational patterns. Thank you, Miss.